Hello, everyone. This is Everyday Shenanigans on this Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. End of the month, almost time for a new month. We're going into fall shortly, and I hope you all are staying safe and cool out there. I really want to get into this subject matter of what's going on in Wisconsin, up in Kenosha, because the George Floyd situation had done done me in talking about that and the different angles and storylines pertaining to the death of George Floyd and the police officers that were arrested and charged with his death and other cases out of Georgia. And it just seems it's non-stop rhetoric pertaining to African American people and the police, and people have so many nasty comments and rhetoric about black people in general, and I just really get tired of talking about these stories because I get hyped and I can get just as ignorant as these people who are commenting. But I decided to go ahead and bring this said story out of Kinosha, Wisconsin, besides the death of Mr. Blake. But I want to bring other buffoonery that has transpired out of Kenosha, and I think you know what I'm talking about. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to Kinosha News. Antioch teen taken into custody for shooting deaths in Kinosha Tuesday. This was updated 18 minutes ago. A 17-year-old Antioch teen is in custody, Lake County, suspected to be charged with the shooting that left 2 men dead and a third injured. Kenosha Police Chief Daniel Miskinis confirmed that a 17-year-old had been arrested but did not name him or release information on the recommended charges. The shooting and the movements of the teen before and after were captured on at least a half a dozen videos that were shared widely on social media. Last night, a 17-year-old individual from Antioch, Illinois, was involved in the use of firearms to resolve whatever conflict was in place. The result of it was 2 people are dead, McKinnon said. At an afternoon press conference about the shooting, the protests and the riots in the city, McKinnon said he would not give any details about the latest shooting. Yeah, I wonder why. Interesting. At the same press conference, authorities said the number of Wisconsin National Guard members in the city is continuing to grow, and that the city will have a 7 p.m. curfew. Law enforcement plans to make arrests of those who stay on the street at night. Ms. Kenneth said he did not know whether the team was in Kenosha answering social media calls for armed militia to come to the city after protesting Kenosha over the police shooting of Sunday turned violent. Ms. Kenneth said 17-year-olds are not allowed to open carry. Yes, and we will get to that part here at the end of the video. Of the article, The police chief said a 26-year-old Silver Lake man and a 36-year-old Kenosha man were killed. Everybody involved was out after the curfew. I'm not going to make a great deal of that, but the point is the curfew is in place to protect. Had persons had not been involved in violation of that, perhaps the situation that unfolded would not have happened, Skinner said. The Village of Antioch Police Department put out a public statement saying they took the teen into custody, identifying him as Kyle Rittenhouse. This morning, Kenosha County authorities issued an arrest warrant for the individual responsible for the incident, charging him with first-degree intentional homicide. Make sure you're hearing that correctly, America. He is being charged with intentional homicide. The statement from the Illinois Department said, the suspect in the incident, 17-year-old Antioch resident Kyle Rittenhouse, is currently in custody of the Lake County Judicial System pending an extradition hearing. According to a spokesman for the Lake County State's Attorney's Office, an extradition hearing is scheduled Friday. No charges have yet been issued in Wisconsin, according to publicly available court records. The shooting occurred in a class that began in a used car lot on the corner of Sheridan Road and 63rd. Video shows people running in the street and people falling to the ground as shots ring out. In another video, the man carrying an AR-15 style rifle and wearing a baseball cap is seen running, holding his rifle and talking on his phone. He can be heard saying, "I just killed somebody," as he ran. In one video, the man with the rifle is seen running down the street, pursued by others trying to stop him, yelling that he had just shot someone. The man falls to the ground, still holding the rifle. And look at that. He didn't even shoot himself. Yeah, I see it. As people run toward him, one holding a skateboard, he fires his weapon, appearing to shoot 2 people. Someone begins shouting, "Medic." Now make sure you hear what I'm saying to you. The man falls to the ground, still holding the rifle. As people run toward him, one holding a skateboard, he fires his weapon, appearing to shoot 2 people. someone begins shouting medic. After the shooting, the man with the rifle is seen getting up and heading away from the scene toward law enforcement in the armored vehicles, at first running, then walking with his hands up. A man can be heard frantically trying to call the attention of law enforcement to the man walking with the gun. That dude just shot them. Dude right there, just them all down there. He just shot them. That dude right there, he shot someone, a man screams. The man with the gun then walks beside law enforcement who are advancing in the armored vehicle. Is someone injured straight ahead? Someone asks the vehicles drive past the man with the gun. The video of the shootings and the video of the police response at the press conference were quickly politicized on social media, with those on the left saying they exposed police bias, while those on the right arguing the team was acting in self-defense. In a measure of the cruelty of online life, the Facebook account for a woman believed to be the girlfriend of one of the men killed was filled Wednesday afternoon with photos captured from the video of the moment the man was shot, calling him a commie and saying preferred pronouns were. At the press conference, reporters asked about the video, asking how the shooter was allowed to walk past law enforcement vehicles and leave the scene while people were pointing him out. Kenosha County Sheriff David Best said he had not seen the video, but speculated that the law enforcement at the scene may not have heard the people pointing the man out because of the radio traffic and noise. You get tunnel vision, Best said. Ms. Skinner did not comment. Of course he did. The shooting came during the third day of protest following the shooting of Jacob Blake by a Kenosha police officer Sunday. Blake survived but was left paralyzed according to his family and attorneys. The shooting is being investigated by the Wisconsin Department of Justice, and District Attorney Michael Gravely said he has also asked for a federal civil rights investigation into the incident. Ms. Skinner said the three officers that were on the scene of the shooting are on administrative leave while the DOJ investigation is underway. Protests have turned violent, with fires set by rioters destroying or damaging 30 buildings Tuesday, while the center of the protest has been around Civic Center Park and Kenosha County Courthouse. Most of the worst damage is in the working-class uptown neighborhood. It has been a difficult time in the city of Kenosha, a devastating time for the community, Mayor John Anseramian said. There are a lot of very good people in this community, and what is happening to them is wrong. People have differences of opinion. We have different concepts of how things should be done. Those are all fine, but violence in the community is not acceptable. Violence to property, violence to people is absolutely unacceptable. Anseramian and Beth also said they were opposed to people acting as armed militia during the protest. No, I don't want more guns on the street in the community. We are trying to keep people safe, Anseramian said. Best said his answer was hell no when asked if he would deputize citizens. They create confrontation, he said. That doesn't help us. He said that the 17-year-olds might have been part of this group that wanted me to deputize them. A group calling itself the Kenosha Guard put out online called Tuesday to any patriots willing to take up arms and defend our city tonight from evil thugs. In an online message to Ms. Guinness that has since been removed, the commander of the Guard and said, we'll be mobilizing tonight and have about 3,000 RSVPs. I ask that you do not have your officers tell you to go home under threat or arrest as you have done in the past. According to the technology news website The Verge, Facebook took down the Kenosha Guard page under dangerous individuals and groups police after 2 men were killed. And this is Kenosha News. So as you see, state law is that you can carry an open gun if you're 18 years or older. This guy was 17. Nobody checked his ID. In the photo, you'll see him walking beside a sheriff officer. And 9 times out of 10, this is probably after he's already gunned down 2 people. It is said he was shooting and aiming randomly at people. No picking or choosing. So those of you who are jumping on social media sites thinking he was mobbed, he was being chased, he was this, well, get the video and we'll decide if he was mobbed or chased. But the fact that he fled back to his state of Illinois proves that he gunned those people down, because if it was self-defense, he would gladly have turned himself in to say, yes, I shot these 2 people because they were harming me, chasing me, beating me, whatever. But he did not do that. An innocent person has no problem with turning him or herself in. So you see, this is what happens when you assume, first time for news, what you think the storyline is, the narrative is. He gunned those 2 people down, and he walked beside the police and kept on going and did not care and went on home to his state, Illinois, without a care in the world. Drop your comments below. Tell me what you think of the storyline. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Like, share, subscribe. Stay safe, mask up. Until the next video. Bye-bye.